Both are incredible. Both have had a global influence on music. But the bigger artist, according to the numbers, is Abel Makonnen Tesfaye was born on February 16, 1990 in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Ariana Grande Butera was born on June 26, 1993 in Boca Raton, Florida. They are two of the biggest chart toppers of the past decade. In this video, we'll look at their history and compare them in multiple categories: chart performance, sales, total streams, critic score, award achievements, and touring, to decide who has had the biggest impact on pop music. When he was 17, Abel dropped out of school and moved into an apartment in the neighborhood of Parkdale with two friends. He then became homeless and started using drugs, which influenced the content of his early music.
I'm in a life without a home, so this recognition's not enough.
In 2008, Ariana was cast as a cheerleader in a Broadway musical. In 2009, she was cast as Kat in the Nickelodeon TV show Victorious. In August 2009, Abel began anonymously releasing music on YouTube. In December 2010, he uploaded What You Need, Laugh Music, and The Morning to YouTube. His identity was so hidden that people didn't even know if it was a solo act or a band.
These guys are a Canadian R&B outfit.
Ariana made several recordings of herself singing covers of songs by Adele, Whitney Houston, and Mariah Carey, and uploaded them to YouTube.
You know you made me love you.
Before adopting the stage name The Weeknd, Abel released his music under two aliases, The Noise and King Ken. He chose the name The Weeknd because he left one weekend and never came home. The letter E was excluded to avoid trademark problems with the pop rock band The Weeknd. On March 21, 2011, The Weeknd released his debut mixtape House of Balloons. I think this is still his best project. In July 2011, he embarked on a tour of Toronto and held his first live performance at the Mod Club Theatre, where he revealed his identity. On August 18, 2011, The Weeknd released his second mixtape, Thursday. This mixtape is notable for a guest appearance from Drake. In December 2011, Ariana Grande released her first single, Put Your Hearts Up. The Weeknd released his third mixtape, Echoes of Silence, on December 21, 2011. In September 2012, he signed with Republic Records in a joint venture with his own imprint label, XO. Ariana collaborated on a single version of popular song, a duet with Micah. The Weeknd's 3 mixtapes were subsequently remastered and compiled for Trilogy, along with 3 previously unreleased songs. Trilogy was released on November 13, 2012. It debuted on number 4 on the Billboard 200, with first week sales of 86,000 copies. In February 2013, the last episodes of Victorious aired. Then the pilot for her next show, Sam and Cat, aired on the 8th of June 2013. Ariana Grande dropped her debut studio album, Yours Truly, on the 3rd of September 2013. It debuted on number 1, with 138,000 copies sold in its first week. The Weeknd dropped his debut studio album, Kissland, on September 10, 2013. It debuted on number 2 on the Billboard 200, with 95,000 copies sold in its first week. Ariana released a second studio album, My Everything, on August 25, 2014. It debuted on number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 169,000 copies in its first week. The Weeknd released his second studio album, Beauty Behind the Madness, on August 28, 2015. It debuted on number 1 on the Billboard 200, with 412,000 album equivalent units sold. To date, it has sold more than 5.2 million copies worldwide. Ariana dropped Dangerous Woman on May 20, 2016. It debuted on number 2 on the Billboard 200, earning 175,000 album equivalent units. To date, the album has sold more than 3.4 million units worldwide. The Weeknd released Starboy on November 25, 2016. It debuted on number 1 on the Billboard 200, with 348,000 album equivalent units sold. It was certified 4 times platinum by the RIAA. The Weeknd then released his EP, My Dear Melancholy, on March 30, 2018. It debuted on number 1 on the Billboard 200, with 169,000 album equivalent units sold. Ariana released Sweetener on August 17, 2018. It debuted on number 1 on the Billboard 200, with 231,000 album equivalent units sold. She then released her fifth studio album, Thank You Next, on the 8th of February 2019. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with 360,000 album equivalent units. To date, it has been streamed more than 6.2 billion times on Spotify. The Weeknd dropped After Hours on March 20, 2020. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with 444,000 album equivalent units. To date, the album has been streamed more than 8 billion times on Spotify. Ariana released her most recent album, Positions, on October 30, 2020. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with 174,000 album equivalent units. The Weeknd released his latest album, Dawn FM, on the 7th of January 2022. It debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 with 148,000 album equivalent units. Now let's compare their achievements. First is chart performance. On the Billboard Hot 100, The Weeknd has 5 number 1 songs, while Ariana has 6, so Ariana wins that. The Weeknd has 26 top 10 singles, while Ariana has 19, so The Weeknd wins that. The Weeknd has a total of 91 entries, while Ariana has 71, so The Weeknd wins that. And for the Billboard 200 albums chart, The Weeknd has 4 number 1 albums, while Ariana has 5, so Ariana wins that. Next is career sales. The Weeknd has 98 million certified single sales according to the RIAA, while Ariana has 63.5 million, so The Weeknd wins that. For album sales, The Weeknd has sold more than 17 million albums worldwide, while Ariana has sold more than 15.2 million, so The Weeknd wins that. And for total streams, The Weeknd has been streamed more than 38 billion times on Spotify, while Ariana has been streamed more than 34 billion times. The Weeknd wins that. And for critic score, The Weeknd has an average Metacritic score of 77, while Ariana has an average Metacritic score of 77, so it's a tie there. And for total awards, The Weeknd has 34 major awards, while Ariana has 17, so The Weeknd wins that. And for touring, The Weeknd has grossed a total of more than $100 million on his concert tours, while Ariana has grossed more than $243 million, plus she is the better performer, so Ariana wins that. Both are incredible. Both have had a global influence on music. But the bigger artist, according to the numbers, is The Weeknd.